I would say, leave of Escambia County would correspond with withdrawing several cases. Only one of them is ancillary here. There's a specific one where I had an ice chest stolen, and I pressed charges and then sued, and then Dixon tried to drop the case, and then I was given an ultimatum by the First District Court of Appeal, and I filed something to try to comply with that, and I'll end up appealing that to the Florida Supreme Court if I lose there. But it seems like that there's a huge sort of a lot of things I think people would not want to get before a jury. And I think I've narrowed it down that the people who essentially carried out a fraud in Mobile County in 2015 to take what was a paid-for house from me, they might have been believed in how they did it if they hadn't spent all this time bothering me in Florida doing what obviously has been harassing a witness to try and discredit them in a criminal prosecution. The reality is the one thing that I'm on the hook for would be some late 527 returns and paperwork for EINs. Because these committees raise no money, it's a matter of paperwork with the IRS. It requires having a lawyer to talk to the IRS. They really don't care that much. And you have 5 years to file any tax return anyway. So I'm actually completely safe on that. I completely have nothing. But when we have a situation where I have people constantly try and stir up stuff in the streets, when I was never the one who started any of this, I understand that I can do more. For example, in the state of Florida, it takes 2 years to obtain a real estate broker's license when you work as a salesperson. Now, in 2019, in February 2019, at the end of the month, I drove a real estate licensure application, because you can turn in the application papers first before you do the whole process. I drove it to Tallahassee, to DBPR. And part of this is that when I was licensed to sell real estate in Alabama, I got a salesperson's license. They offered the test in Mobile. Well, they offered it in Gulf Shores once every couple of weeks. They offer it in Montgomery every day. Therefore, I drove to Montgomery. I failed the first time narrowly. I drove to Montgomery within 7 days' time. I passed the second time. The thing is, in terms of driving to Montgomery for this, they had not even had the next test date in Gulf Shores. So I use that as an explanation of work ethic. The state of Mississippi permits...
Excuse me 1 second, Chase.
Yeah, this I would go ahead and put online. Because I need to start.
Okay, Chase, sorry about that.
Well, as I was stating, Mississippi permits a resident that's an elector of the state, which means a registered voter. That's the legal term. Permits a resident of the state to get a real estate broker's license with 120 class hours. Now, 150 class hours. The way that the state of Mississippi interprets 150 class hours is if you have a 3-hour credit course in a community college in real estate, 5 of those are a normal semester of classes, that counts as your 150 hours. And that is, and let me finish. And that is something that can be financed by the federal government through student loans. I have filled out a FAFSA for this year. Haven't exactly applied it anywhere, but I do have a FAFSA filled out for the 2023-24 school year. We are at the beginning of semesters at every college in the country. At this point in August, it's possible to get things done.
So
And let me finish explaining, please. I've got to lay out the narrative.
but I have other meetings.
I know, but I'm trying to explain the narrative because it takes time to explain. It's not a simple yes or no thing. I have an interest in.
I just want to know why.
How can
I help you today?
I have an interest in establishing Mississippi residency for the purposes of taking licensure courses at a Mississippi community college as a Mississippi resident, which would allow me to probably have a Mississippi broker's license in this calendar year.
So you need assistance with getting to Mississippi?
Well, and getting admitted into a community college there, which can be arranged because I've become a political problem in this county. But where I would withdraw the suit against opening doors. I would withdraw the suit.
Do you have anyone in Mississippi?
I would have absolutely no one in Mississippi to receive me. The whole point would be going to community college there. The whole point is that I've got a suit against opening doors because in 2019 I came and did the financial literacy thing. For some reason you would come up there and fill up gas in my car, but then that woman that used to work up here had this idea that I would be going to Mobile, and I would not be going to Mobile for anything. But it begs the question, whom here was talking to whom in another state? And I think it might have been people who were involved in the taking of my house in the first place who wanted to suppress a witness in that. Where I had indicated in December 2018 by email that I intended to handle certain things in federal court. So I can demonstrate that that was an effort to try and suppress a witness. So the fact of the matter is that the crux of that suit is that I had also asked in 2019 for assistance just fixing my car, and you should remember my car was that Impala. That I was hit twice, parked in parking lots in the spring of 2019. The car with the dents at that time would not have been accepted for Uber, but it was a big Impala. If I had just gotten a little bit of assistance in fixing that car, there is no reasonable person, there is no reasonable juror in the state of Florida that's going to say that had that car not been fixed, that I wouldn't have been able to drive it for Uber, where I probably could have made $30 or $40 a year, which is not much, but it would have paid the bills, because anyone who can drive a car.
So you need assistance with getting to Mississippi.
And getting admitted to a community college there. It's not just getting to Mississippi.
So have you enrolled in the community college yet, Chase?
That would take money, but I'm saying that because I'm offering to withdraw what is a suit, where I actually think that that there would be someone in county government who does not want that suit before a jury in this county, and where I do have y'all on would be specifically that it can be very easily demonstrated. You can't argue, because we had this discussion about you wanted income to assist someone with housing. You can't make the argument that someone with a working Impala is not able to drive Uber and have that count as income even if they're filed as an independent contractor for the IRS. That's sort of the point of that case. And it dovetails with another case that I filed, which is mainly if I was staying in Florida, to get the state of Florida to waive the normal 2 years as a salesperson requirement to go ahead and get be able to sit for the broker's test, which actually government can do. Government controls its own licensing, so it can give a special exception to anyone for any reason, including as a legal settlement, based on the argument that if I had not had my life interfered with, if I had gotten that car fixed to where I could have driven for Uber, because I had already applied for the real estate license, I had even spoken to Hank Thompson and had intended to set up classes with Hank Thompson in the spring of 2019, you can't argue that I wouldn't have been able to take the Florida broker's license test in 2021. Therefore, in terms of how law works, that would actually be an appropriate consideration in terms of relief.
Mississippi were you planning to go to, Chase?
It would be any part of Mississippi that has a community college. And I would probably be reliant on transit without my car if I was going to end up without a car. But what I'm stating is that
Mississippi is a pretty big state, so
it would have to be where there's a community college. I mean, that would be the thing, because this would be specifically to take 5 3 credit hour courses in real estate.
Have you reached out to a shelter there? Because if the shelter
There would be no shelter. You understand that most every community college in the country has on-campus housing.
Well,
The ones in Pensacola have it.
If
That's
you
the
were to reach out to a shelter there,
It wouldn't be reaching out to a shelter. I'm offering because I've actually got an active suit.
Hey, how you doing?
I've got it. I've got an. Remember, I've got an active suit. It's got a case number assigned.
They are. What kind of help? A lunch? A lunch. We don't have lunch. Have water. We don't have lunch. I'm sorry.
I'm really riding looking for lawnmower parts. All the lawnmower shows I went to, they're going out of business. I don't know why.
Y'all got a time check? I ain't set the date on this yet.
So Chase, as I told you.
But you understand. You understand. But you understand.
I'm happy to help you get to another state as long as there is a plan in place.
You understand. But
we're not moving.
You understand that. You understand that this is
to other states without a plan.
You understand that this is a little bit different because I have an active suit, and what I'm offering is legal settlement to drop the suit that I brought as a pro se litigant, and which I thought I had served you with the paperwork on your email address.
So I'm sorry, Chase, that you are experiencing this situation. But I've told you before in previous conversation, even back when I put you in a hotel for a week and you destroyed that.
I did not destroy a hotel.
Okay, according to them, you did.
I'm saying I did not.
Up having to pay the cost of.
I'm saying I did
The
not.
cost of the damages.
I'm saying I did not.
All of the baby powder you placed everywhere. So
baby powder has a medical need.
If you can come.
So you've basically just made a medically. You've basically just made a medically discriminatory statement. You've basically just made a medically.
I'm telling you what they said.
You said baby powder, and I just said medical. Now, the minute that I say medical, then that becomes an issue of discrimination law.
Come up with a plan. I'm happy to help.
The plan is to go to community college and get my license and to get my real estate license.
As long as a shelter or a family member or
it would not be a shelter. It would not be a family member because I have an open suit against y'all, and I'm offering to withdraw the suit where that doesn't come before a jury, and where I think at least one member of the county commission does not want that suit before a jury. That is what I'm offering. That is what I'm offering, to drop the suit. And you have no interest in it.